Very good. So, today our theme is career crisis. Career crisis is not a crisis, it's an opportunity to learn more about yourself. But we all experience the moment in time where we think maybe we're not doing something we should be doing. It's a moment that happens absolutely to everybody after 33. Of course, it happens throughout our life because we are growing, we are constantly expanding, we are learning about ourselves through the work that we're doing. Because the work in the beginning is the work to make money because we live in a material world. Later on, it's to support the family because at some point we have a family. Then it's about having a bigger house, a bigger car, a more food, more clothes, more traveling. Then I don't really care about money anymore. I want to have a job that makes me happy. I want to be happy. I want to be enjoying what I'm doing. And rarely people get to the point where they, like Vasili said, we're working 2/3 of our day. If you are lucky, you're always working. I love my job. I always work. Even when I go to sleep, I go to sleep with the question about something that I'm contemplating, about the new program, about a new book, about metaphorical cards, because what I do matches who I am. When things do not match, there is a conflict, and that conflict drives you nuts because that's true. We spend a lot of time with work. This is our second family. It gives us status. We want to know what we are, who we are socially. It gives us an opportunity to express ourselves because in the family, I don't know about you, but nobody really wants to know what I'm doing. Maybe in your family it's different. And nobody really wants to be taught. Everybody wants to chill in the family. So it's
Yeah.
your opportunity to get on the arena where you can shine. But if you are doing something that you think will give you money, but doesn't give you happiness in this moment, the happiness will not arrive with the money. So we are going to look into what is the wrong profession, what is the right profession. There is no wrong or right profession. There is a state in which you choose, and the state of knowing is a good state to choose from, even for your little children. What kind of classes, what kind of extra curricular activity, what are the interests to support, and what not to push your children into. That's also extremely important. I'm big on family because I'm an educator first, psychologist second, and I know that very often we reflect, see our children, and we reflect not them but ourselves, like a mirror that is broken.
Yeah.
We want them to have our career. So let's look into what is happening after 33, because usually you have children who are ready to enter the social arena when you are around 33 or later. Before, rarely, even if you marry young, like I did, still your children need to be 7, 8, 9 when they're ready, strong enough to go to certain extracurricular things. And we need to know who we are, what our aspirations are, and what are we doing, because we are doing and doing and doing, and our children are also reflecting us. They start doing and doing and doing what you're doing. So isn't that an important idea, that we have mismatches and we need to fix it? Today we're fixing it. No mismatches between education, work, desire, energy, and so on.
Yeah, spending like 2/3 of our life like working at one place. And I heard a lot of stories like, oh, I'm so proud. I've been working for 25, 30 like years at this one place. At the beginning, when I was in my 20s, it was so strange to hear it. And right now, like growing, I can hear like more this kind of stories. But we live in very fast time right now. And the most toughest question that all the kids get like every day, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do in your adult life? And there's like, I don't know. And I also answer like to them, like, don't be scared about this. Don't be worried, because even the old adults, we don't know what we really want to do. And thanks God we have this kind of knowledge that based on our date of birth, we can really schedule our professional realization like year upfront. And of course, like knowing your date of birth, we can really show you what's your best idea to go up to the age of 33. And of course, what you really need to do, like what you really need to start doing after you get this kind of 33 age of your life. Yeah, because we have a big changes in this kind of period. And right now, looking back, I always say to myself, if I knew, wow, Vasily, if I knew it like many, many years ago. But Svetlana, in my life, I had couple people in my 20s, they were like, Vasily, you have to do this. And I was like, oh no, I have my own way. No, don't tell me. No. I was so close to hear this kind of information. But right now, I really can look back and say, like, yeah, I missed the point. I missed the kind of like advice from one person to another. And that's why, guys, stay with us and we're gonna share on this poster why it's so important to know what we really need to do after like 33, because there's a big changes. We have 81 kind of personalities. 81. 81 personalities, and we really need to get the right job. We really have to unlock our potential in order to earn money, and of course to get this kind of energy of love, happiness, and of course like share with our family, because everything what we do for our family.
Vasily is talking. That's not true for me, but for him, yes, because he has different numbers than I do in his name, for example. And
Yeah.
his name ends with 6, which you can look at this poster and see that it's about creating comfort and fostering creativity. And that's what he does with his children. He put them into very strong professional character building place, sports, and he created special journals. I'm sure his children inspired him with all the stuff that's happening with professional sport, but it's the whole community of children around the world benefited from his journals in Russian and English, because now they can organize their time. Why? Because his mission is for, and looking at that poster, it's about defining and setting goals. So here, people, I'm going to give you the structure so you can put your goals here, you can manage your time here, and you can prioritize here. I am a different person. My mission is 9. So if you look at the number 9, idea and plan generation for mutual benefit, I do not care if it's my family or somebody else's family. If I have an idea, I constantly share my ideas, and I always want to get people involved in doing something together. So for me, my family is the whole world. It goes crazy sometimes. But what can you do? When you're young, up to 33, what happens? You're full of energy, you're full of desires, and you are cultivating those desires. Desires come from here, of course, subjective reality, your mind, your ego, your story. That story is, of course, like we talked last time, who didn't see it, please watch the flow of the thought, how the thought
Yeah.
is created. This is extremely important to understand this material that we're giving you today, because the flow of thought is not your flow necessarily. You have a surrounding, you have a birth date of birth, you have people with different date of birth, they give you different advices. My mom always wanted to be a teacher, therefore I became a teacher. My mom became an engineer. But then she suffered through this engineering, and around 36, she got so sick that she was hospitalized because she hated her job. It was a lot of misalignment, a lot of untruth, and she felt
Yeah.
terrible, terrible. She could never recover from it. And around 45, she left the workforce because she was so, her health was affected. And when you're not happy at your job, you can feel it in your body. Your body never lies. If you don't want to wake up and go to work, it means you shouldn't. You should look into this thing that we're showing with Vasili and figure out why you're not wanting to go. At 36, I realized I'm a psychologist. I am helping people. But at 32, I went in US, I went to the second educational organization. I had pedagogical institute in Russia, and here I went again to the same kind of profession, but it was called instructional leadership, how to raise, how to create leaders. This is the theme I've chosen. But at that point, I so wanted to be a psychologist, but everybody said, you're so good at teaching. You already have a school, you already director, you already this, and the other thing. So what happened to me, I was in the university and I couldn't handle it because I didn't want to be a teacher anymore. Because 33 happened, I was still in university. So 33, I became a psychologist, but I already was in the second institution organization. So I went to coaching because I believed that will help me jump faster into being a psychologist, which did happen. But all my life I'm learning about psychology to understand people, how they work with ideas, and how I can help them to implement that. So I'm giving you this example so you know that you cannot fight that. It comes to you like tsunami. And later on, you discover this and that, my desires and what I'm doing do not match. So, how can I find the alignment? How can I feel good at my work? I didn't feel good at teaching children, but I wanted to help. So, I started working with families. I wrote books about it. Then I went into business because my daughter went to business, and I realized I need to know the business because nobody's handling that business where my money were. And I became a business owner and I became a business educator. And that all happened because I wanted to help people, my family including. So, how are you doing? Write us your questions. We will give you a very clear answer or schedule your private consultations in which we will calculate not only what your desires are so you can be more precise, but also what do you do to accomplish them and if those two things match, and we'll give you a formula, a specific formula, which we will share in a moment.
Yeah, because you really need to understand we have like 8 billion people on this earth, yeah, as we know, and 80% of them are unsuccessful. Why? Because we can't choose the right way. We really live through judgments. We really live through our beliefs. And that's why it's very important to understand that we have formulas that help us to really grow faster. We have a success formula, we have a happiness formula, and knowing your date of birth, we can really guide you through it, through this kind of path in order to help you to find the right profession. And of course, we have the big changes right now. This all kind of AI is like going in our life. Everything is a lot of changes right now. And of course, like we really need to remember that all opportunities they come from other people. And you, as an expert, you can attract these opportunities and keep around you. But you really need to understand where you gonna be the best of the best. And that's why it's very important to understand individuals, who you are, what kind of competencies you have, and really what kind of activities you really need to take in as actions after when you get like you're 33 years old.
And can you see the numbers 1 to 9? We are talking about these numbers again and again because it's the easiest, the simplest way to understand what is it that you are longing for, what are you good at, and what are you doing about it. Why these numbers? There are many archetypes. I personally am an archetypal psychologist. I work with Jungian psychology, for example. I work with Terra numerology. I work with Syucai because all of those systems show and human design show and demonstrate different archetypal patterns in your behavior. What is archetype? It's not one little thing. It's a big energetic pattern that a lot of people are doing the same way. So instead of inventing the wheel every time and feel dead and unfulfilled, you can join the archetypal group that is already doing something, learn it, experience it, talk to these people. For example, if you're born on the day first, you're a strategist. You are strategic in your thinking. You want to put everybody under your wing and help people, to show people where to go, how to do it. You want to be a leader. but making decisions is hard, especially when you're young. So young leaders very often are stuck with the problems because you don't have a team that is always 19 to 25. There are different ages, right? So the young leader with a lot of energy who can do it and who can move, that was me. I started working when I was 17. At 21, I already managed a class of 38 children. And then I was moving rapidly in life, and by 30, I already had my own school, 31, and 450 families and 3 locations. So I was small and thin and insignificant for many people. And I had to show that I can take responsibility, that I can make a decision and I can lead through this decision and take responsibility for it, which is for many people is a problem. And what do you need to do for that? You need to manage, because leadership is about management. It's not about always jumping on a white horse and running, in front of the crowd. It is understanding the crowd. It's managing individuals in the crowd. It's understanding the time management, understanding the space management, understanding the bigger patterns within which you are operating. And most importantly, the analysis, which sometimes strategist is not analyst, not sometimes, most of the times. So let's say you're born strategist, you want to do it, and then you get into the business, and your talent is to make a decision, but you don't know how to analyze this decision. And that's where your decision falls through, and who's taking responsibility, and who's blaming whom, and whose mismanagement is it. But everybody think that they can lead. True. If you're born this way, you can develop that talent. If you're not born this way, you have to study really well, but better yet, do what you're born for. And this particular poster shows you who you are by the date of birth, all these 9 numbers. And the previous poster shows you, can you go to previous poster, please? Shows you the same thing. You see the actions. But after 33, you're no longer, if you're born strategist, number 1, and now you have another number, the summary of all your dates, let's say 4, like Vasili, you're no longer a manager. Now you want to set goals. You don't want to manage those goals. You want to give people the goals. You want to tell them what priority is. And then you're surprised they're not doing it. Why they're not doing it? Because giving them a strategy, inspiring them to move throughout this whole process also requires the management of moment by moment by moment business management. And you don't no longer have it, because now your actions are only about this goal. Tomorrow is this goal. Tomorrow is the day. That's no longer a strategy. It's closer to the tactics, for example. So if you can understand that little thing, that you don't know who you are after 33, you lose it. And you have to find it again. And when you find it again, you start doing it, and you're so happy in doing it that you forget that this mismatches your desires. That's where you go to consultation. You go, I'm burnout. I am absolutely dead, because no matter how much I do, that goal of mine does not work anymore. But it was so good before.
Yeah, this is actually two first posters that I work with my clients. Yeah, we look at this poster and we see the level of the energy, and of course we look over here. Yeah, because what does it mean to have a business? Yeah, I have an idea that I really need to create somewhere, if it's a building or maybe it's like store, doesn't matter, or maybe something online. And of course, I have to show it like to other people where they have to come and buy this stuff or exchange for money. And of course, when we sit like with a client, we really take his date of birth or her date of birth and really see who you are as a type of thinking. Yeah, because we have 9 different type of thinking. And of course, you as a business owner, okay, I know about everything about my business. Yes, of course, you know everything, but you have your competences only in this particular way. And that's why the date of birth is everything for us as a like masters, as experts for Svetlana and Vasili over here. And looking through all your numbers, we have this idea to really to show you in details. And really need to remember like nine different type of thinking you have as the employees as well. And that's why the way to communicate with them in order to help you to achieve your goals. Yeah. And of course, like talking with different profession, if you go as a doctor, okay, I had this kind of feeling, I am with the wings, like before the 33, but after that, I I'm not really happy anymore. What do I really need to do? That's why this kind of poster will help us to understand and to show you what you really need to do before and after 33. Because in my combination, for example, yeah, I'm with Svetlana in group number 7. It's implementers, yeah? A competence in improvement and rapid implementations. We're the fastest of the fastest. They can implement all the kind of things. But after 33, Svetlana got this energy number 9, generation of ideas and plans for mutual benefits and service. And Vasili got the energy number 4, marketing, defining, and setting goals, knowledge and transfers. And just Svetlana has explained everything, yeah? Is it's very important because before the 33, we could work as a team, but after no, we cannot work anymore as a team and have the same like level of energy and happiness if we do the wrong things. And that's why professional realization, this is the most important thing. I have my client who lives in Germany, and she runs like the business, and she helps older people, and she has like 38 people as employees. And working with us, we help her to organize her team, and we advise her to invite the one person with the 1-8 numbers as Syucai metrics, and ask her if she really wants to work at the office. And the owner invited her, and she had a conversation, and she said like couple like goals for her, and she was really okay to control things. Why? Because number 8, controllers. And after 33, activity is control of production processes and resources. And she's 1-8. She really wants to manage people before the 33, and after she really wants to control. And last week we got this kind of feedback. She went to work, this lady, 1-8, and she was so happy with a big smile. And the owner asked her, like, what's wrong? What's going on? And she said, when I was leaving my home, my husband told me, please stay as long as possible at this job because you are the happiest person right now. You are the most adequate right now. When you come home, I can feel my wife. I can feel like woman here. Because before she would control everything because the energy of 8, I really want to control. And that's why when you understand your flow of energies, when you understand the flow of energy of your employees, you can create the greatest opportunity for other people. They will go as a like, I really want to go to for you to work. And you're gonna have this kind of list of attention, like waiting list when you have a chance to hire me. Yeah, this is kind of very important. And the very interesting point is for the people who was born after 2000, there is different story. We have this kind of big movement from the generation who was born in 19 something and after 2000. And even for this, we have answers. We can really help you how to play with people and how we can make them happier at workplace. Because spending like two-thirds of our life to do some stuff to exchange our expertise, our time for money, we really need to get this kind of flow of energy that I really want to go there. Because we spent 5, 10 years at universities, at the colleges, universities. And after we spend 15, 20, 25 years working, and when we're not happy, this is like big question, big question. And that's why I really, with my energy of 4 as a revolutionary stuff, I really want to show to the everyone on this earth, guys, we have this knowledge right now. We can help you and help your kids to find the right path to be ready before the 33 and after.
And it's great that if you understand the 9 numbers is your key, your first key. There are other archetypes, but those are easy to understand archetypes because
Yeah.
they run through our life, everyday life. You can just look at the number and see what are the talents, what are the innate competencies, that genetic competencies your children have, or you have, or whoever else, maybe your employees have, because those numbers will show you, I know how to make a decision, I know how to understand things and people, I know how to analyze, and I know how to get knowledge and transmit knowledge, and I know how to logically expand things and logically speak, and I know how to feel great and share that state with you, and I know where to find the energy and how to self-discipline, and how to understand the laws of the universe. And I know practical life experience from which I learn and create my business and my life. And I'm a person of action. So if you look at the middle column, those are the talents and competencies that you can already notice in in the people you work with or in your family. But you can also calculate it. You can look at all the numbers, not just your day of birth or month or year, but all the 1 to 9 numbers that you can find, and put it in tic-tac-toe like this, from the bottom up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you can look at it and you can see what is in your bank, what is in your competency bank. Why is it important? Because if you're incompetent, you don't feel good ever. You feel incompetent all the time when you're incompetent. And no matter how much you learn, you feel you need to learn more. And that's great. I'm a learner, Vasili is a learner, we're constantly learning. We have, I don't know, 3 diplomas at this point from different organizations, higher education. But if you don't have it, you don't have it. And for example, I love analyze, but I learn analysis all the time. I don't have it in my chart, but I practice, and practicality, I have 8 in my chart. So practicality, life experiences gives me a great analysis. But if you do not understand yourself, you cannot understand others. And when you look at your metrics, at your talents and competencies through the numbers, you can understand somebody else. For example, if you have 8 in your chart, that means that you already have other things that you practically acknowledged, gain within your experience, but you analytically do not know about that. So you need to kind of step back and look at these other numbers and talk to people and ask what are they doing with all these numbers. You start communicating with people about them, not about you. And then, of course, you can move forward helping people. But if you don't know what's going on, how can you generate ideas? And for me, my youth was all about being with the people, because I lived in Soviet Union. And Soviet Union was all about camaraderie. Everybody supports everybody, everybody loves everybody, not necessarily in a communistic way, but in a way we were taught. It was part in
Yeah.
our songs. 6 o'clock in the morning, all the plants, whoo, people wake up, and then the songs, ding, 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 go to work. And thousands of people walk and go into the plant, into the workforce with these songs, with this feeling of camaraderie. And then you come to America and everybody sits at home in front of their computer. And for things that are not well in your life, you go to psychologists or the life coach like us. You don't talk to your friends about it. And this is a whole big difference in
Yeah.
being able to communicate and get the knowledge from people through conversation. This part is gone. We talk to ChatGPT most of the times. And realization, self-realization, we didn't know this stuff. We knew that people who work well, good money. If you study a lot, you get good work. If you have good work, you have good money. You get good money, you have good life. The good life is a 2-room apartment. That was that. Here, you have lots of opportunities. You have amazing ability to express yourself. We live in an age when you can push the button and talk to the whole
Yeah.
world. And in this moment in time, the only thing that stops you, your level of competency. If you don't know, you don't know. and your level of understanding, what you have to give. The more you give, the more you get. If people feel that you are valuable, they'll pay you. If you are useless, you're useless. Don't be useless, be useful. Because understanding your success formula is about making money. But understanding what makes you happy is a whole different story, and it's a whole different formula. And it's about what are you talented with and how do you use this talent.
Yeah, and success in your professional realization, this is a combination of your competencies and of course the energy. Yeah. And we really need to understand this is the combination of two elements because you can have this kind of energy, but if there is no competence, you are going to be energized like a
Just
person just yeah, energize the body running around and wow, knowing nothing. And on another hand, when you have a competence but there is no energy, you're smart. All right, you're smart is good, but you cannot exchange it for money. And that's why the combination of two is very important. And we really invite you to ask questions, guys, because we're really open to help you in advance. Yeah, just in the beginning, in your professional path. Yeah, because I have the access for more than 20,000 of CVs working with the recruitment company, with HR industry. And this, by statistics, we analyze a lot of data. And to be honest, looking with this kind of information that we have right now on the screen and checking with the reality, there's not a lot of matches. There's like the percentage of very, very small. And that's why we're preparing right now some educational tools, educational programs in order to work on these competences that you have on the middle of column here. Because it doesn't matter what you do right now. If you really want to get the more success, you have to work on all of nine competences. And we have a great tool. We have your calendar, yeah, your private calendar that can help you to work on these competencies every day. And if you don't have one, you can order, you can ask us, and we really can calculate your personal year. To calculate it, you have to add your date of birth and month, and current year of the Earth is 2026, and you can have this number, or you can give us your date of birth and we can help you. But we have this kind of revolutionary tools that can improve your vision, what you really need to do tomorrow. Even tomorrow, you don't need to wait too long in order to change your actions. Because even at your work, for example, you've been doing for a while already and go to university, it's not easy, it's tough. Stay at your work, but you really need to do well, like some adjustments. And we can show you what you can do at your current work using this kind of little adjustments that will improve your feelings. Because the energy that you get like every day, this is for this to go and help others. But in our mind, we think, okay, I will earn some money and I will share it. No, guys, you can become the success of other people by using your competences. And that's why working on yourself, working on your personal development, this is the most important
Yeah.
thing in our life. Yeah.
Absolutely. Just like you are cleaning your teeth in the morning to take the toxicity after the night, you have to clean your spirit and soul by doing what you love and doing it with people that you love. So, do you love your work or you barely tolerate it? You go to work, boom, 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 or you're dragging your feet. And if that's the case, like Vasili said in the beginning, we have 81 different combinations between your date of birth and your mission. If you do 9 by 9 in different combinations, 81, which one are you? What are your skills and talent? And can you apply them at the current work? Because if you're not, you're missing a huge opportunity to expand that, your potential, and multiply your income. The income comes when you apply your talent, not when you just work hard, when you work smart. And that poster that Vasily was showing you, the Pareto principle, when you push and push and push, and 80% of the push goes into 20% of the result on a good day. On a bad day, it's 0%. But Sometimes you only do 20% and all of a sudden everything is done, 80% or 90%. And all of a sudden it just happens. And that's when the match happens. So if you could redesign what's going on in your life right now, if you could apply the knowledge that we give you, what would you really do? And if it's not enough knowledge, of course, you need to study. But we've given you so much. If you are listening, even to 5% of what we're saying,
Yeah.
it can change your life 360 degrees because numbers are easy. Explaining your problems is hard. You talk a lot and nobody can help you. But if you understand, this is the day I'm born and it's not going to change, that's already done. That's who I am. And now I'm 33. Happy birthday. You have to be reborn. You have to start again. You have to look at life and say, thanks God, I have a very narrow channel. I don't have to do all of that. I can only do this and be very
Yeah.
successful. And then you go, and how do I apply those things? Well, we give you the formula of success. And you go, now I know how to apply my talents into the workforce and have the money. And then we give you the formula of happiness. And you go, oh, that's what makes me happy. I always knew it, but I could not pinpoint. So you need to pinpoint something. You have to use the right tool.
Yeah. Stay tuned with us, guys, for the next episodes.
Okay, thank you.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.